Hi everyone, this is Caroline Speaks, the state of our world on Sunday, September 27, 2020. What is it? Well, the coronavirus is still with us. As of early this evening, we had 7,133,130 confirmed cases in the U.S. and 205,790 people have passed away from this virus. That is a real tragedy because of Trump and his administration refused to do anything about this horrible situation. Worldwide, there are a number of leaders who aren't doing anything about this virus and protecting their people, like the leader of Brazil, Bolsonaro, and that net guy in Israel, and Putin in Russia, and all these dictators are um, letting the virus stay. They don't care. They have their wealth. But this virus is not picky about who it affects. Anyone is liable to be infected with the virus and die from the virus. So there may be some wake-up calls in the near future from these right-wing people who do not want to acknowledge the existence of this virus and do everything they can to protect their people. Okay. Now, a lot of things going on in the world. We have the election coming up on November 3rd. Early voting is going on all over the country. Make sure you're registered. Make sure you get your ballot. Absentee mail-in is the best, the safest way. And learn about the issues and the candidates on your ballot. And also keep this fact with you, that there are a lot of vulnerable populations in our country who are at danger for this virus, such as those in nursing homes, assisted living homes, retirement homes, and veteran homes. Those who do not have a home who live on the streets. Those who are healthcare workers and first responders, and farm workers and agricultural workers, and people living in detention centers, jails, and prisons. Now, we definitely need criminal justice reform. We've had lots of instances of minority people, especially men, being killed by the police all over the country. But in May, when George Floyd was murdered by a white police officer in Minnesota, all of a sudden protests started. I guess it reached a tipping point. There's police violence against minority peoples, and that's been going on for a while. We definitely need criminal justice reform. Being a police officer is a very dangerous job, especially in a domestic violence situation. When you're called to a home, a residence, because of a domestic violence incident, you don't know what you're going to find, you don't know what you're getting into. There could be people there with arms who are going to shoot you as a police officer before you even get in the door. So it is very dangerous. But if you really want to be a police officer and serve the people, then you have to use non-lethal methods. When you're confronted by a criminal, by someone who's in distress, maybe has a mental health situation, mental health condition, you don't know what's going on. So there are things like tasers. But it seems that police use deadly force. Breonna Taylor is a EMT and nursing student in Louisville, Kentucky. And the police in Louisville, Kentucky came to her house using a no-knock warrant, and they broke into her house, and they killed her. Supposedly, someone who also lived there heard a disturbance outside And when the police came and broke down the door, he didn't know who they were because they were wearing plain clothes. So he fired his gun, his registered gun, and the police who came in fired back. 6 shots, killed Breonna Taylor. Also fired some other shots that ended up in a neighboring apartment. The grand jury in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, said that the officers involved acted correctly, responsibly. No charges filed. So that's a real travesty of justice. So what are we going to do about it? Well, you have to vote. You have to keep in touch with your representatives at the city, county, state, village, and state and federal level to know what you think. We need better laws. We have a situation in, we've heard about voter suppression. The Republicans want to keep minority voters from voting because they know these minority voters will not vote for them. So there is a case in Florida, situation in Florida, where the state of Florida overwhelmingly passed a resolution to have everyone who has paid their debt to society, has served their time, their voting rights should be restored. Well, the state of Florida officials didn't like that because that mean more minority people voting. So what they did, they passed some legislation that attached some financial penalties to these people. So they want to have their vote restored. They have to pay certain fines and fees, which is equivalent to a modern-day poll tax. So then comes in former Mayor Mike Bloomberg of New York, who set up a fund to pay the fines of these people. And now former Mayor Bloomberg is being investigated by Florida officials because they think it's very weird, strange that someone from outside wants to pay the fines of these people so they can vote. But of course, if Florida just let everybody vote, we wouldn't have this situation. But that's what we're looking at. So we're hoping our election this year will bring in new people all over the country, and we'll have laws that are just and fair so that everybody has the right to vote. And you automatically are registered when you turn 18 and shouldn't have to go through all this hassle. Maybe eventually we'll have internet voting, so if they can develop a secure system to do that, they won't have to worry about people being harassed at the polls, because Trump is putting out all these negative thoughts about mail-in ballots and using the post office, and he's also trying to destroy the post office. So we have a very strange situation. So you have to vote, and the best way to vote is by mail if your state allows it. And maybe we can get a lot of new people in at all levels in each state and in the federal level to change the rules, make the rules better for the people, restore the Voting Rights Act of 1965, because Republicans are trying, have weakened that, unfortunately. So anyway, we have a lot of things to think about, and time to get busy. I don't know how much you're aware of this, but in certain parts of the country, they have what they call wildlife killing contests. There are certain creatures that certain communities don't like, and they tell people to go out and kill these creatures. They set up for a specific day and time, and there's some kind of a reward for the one who kills the most. This is America, and Republicans are supposed to be the party of life, pro-life. So anyway, a lot of these wildlife killing contests have entered because people have spoken out and people have sued. But there's some places where it still exists. We still have people going to Africa to hunt big game. And they can't do that if the countries they go to didn't allow them to do that. Seems like some countries use this as a way of earning money. Well, why don't you use tourism instead of having or tourism and photography tourism? Very, very strange. So anyway, that's the state of the world. It doesn't look too bright. Maybe it's time to have a little song. What would you like to hear? I'm thinking. Alright, I think I got one. Here we go. Called Jamaica Farewell. Give it a try. This was recorded by Harry Belafonte a long time ago. Very popular. Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on the mountain top, I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Down at the market you can hear ladies cry out while on their heads they bear hockey rice, saltfish are nice, and the rum is fine any time of year. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls swing to and fro. I declare my heart is there, though I've been from Maine to Mexico. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, just turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Okay, hope you like that. It's called Jamaica Farewell, sung by Harry Belafonte. Thank you for joining us this evening, Sunday, September 27, 2020, for a meeting with Caroline Speaks, State of the World. Hope you'll be back again tomorrow evening for another meeting. And remember, take care of yourself, take care of others. And, very important, remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Okay. Good night.